Eorzea, also known as Hydaelyn, a land bathed in blood of countless heroes and enemies. Over the eons, many empires have risen and fallen, but at one time, there was an empire which controlled nearly all of Hydaelyn. This empire was called the Allagan Empire, or in short, Allag. They were known to be the masters of technology and magic, which led them to create many things that to this day look as if created by the gods. The emperor who would create this mighty nation and ultimately its doom was called Xander. When Xander was born, Allagan Empire was splintered into many smaller nations. When he raised to power, he started quickly invading the near Allagan nations until all of the Allagans kneeled before the now known as the Emperor Xander. But he didn't stop from there, as his ambitions were to conquer the whole world and be the supreme ruler of whole of Hydaelyn. He started invading territory after territory until majority of Hydaelyn was his to rule, until he started invading Mercidia. Many wars were raged in that continent, but then the mighty emperor was finally defeated for the first time. During the early age of the Allagan Empire, they were in the golden age where the majority of the structures and artifacts were created. As time passed, they mastered many arts, bioengineering and mastery of spaceflight being one of them. This age lasted for thousands of years until it ended and became stagnant. It is not known when exactly stagnation started, but it is believed that one of the reasons why it started stagnating was because of the weak emperor line. During the end of the Allagan civilization, Aemon, who was skilled in the arts of technology and magic, started devising an unusual plan. He wanted to resurrect the first and the strongest of all the emperors, the Emperor Xander, to revitalize his mighty empire into a new golden age. So he started researching in cloning. He managed to resurrect some of his descendants until he was confident enough that he could bring back the emperor from the dead. So he set out to exhume his dead body from its tomb and managed to bring him back to life. The now resurrected emperor quickly revitalized the empire and continued to fulfill his ambitions, but little did Aemon know that Emperor Alexander's soul was scarred because he could remember his death, which led him to isolation from the world. Shortly after the empire became stable again, the Emperor Xander was consumed by his memories of death, and he finally realized that one's ambitions after death would be meaningless. Thus, he made a pact with the Void Sand, of whom I will speak about it soon, to reduce Hydaelyn into nothingness. Now, I don't know exactly how he managed to contact with the Void Sand, since it was never really explained. He ordered the construction of the Sacred Tower. To his people, this mighty tower was to distribute solar energies in the Empire. But in truth, the tower collected the energy in order to summon the Void Sand into Hydaelyn. After the construction of the Sacred Tower began, he took his armies and went back to the continent of Mercidia, where he was able to defeat Bahamut and capture his primal form. After that, he created a prison for the Primal, the prison called Talamud. It was a satellite designed to capture solar energies and use the Primal as its catalyst for solar energy collecting mechanism. The resources generated by the satellite was channeled to the Crystal Tower, which was used to power up a gateway to the world of darkness, where the Void Sand, who is called the Cloud of Darkness, would come forth. The continued conquests of the now eternal emperor put a strain on the mighty empire. People who once cheered in the name of their empire started showing discontentment. Numerous uprisings happened in the final days of the empire, and the Emperor was forced to put his plan into work sooner than he had hoped for. He activated the tower and it started working. A great rift of darkness appeared in the sky. The sheer amount of power necessary to do that was too much for the power to handle. The excess energy stored in the tower managed to escape to the ground. It created the biggest earthquake in Heideland's history, and the crystal tower sank into the ground with it, imprisoning the last leaders of the Allagan empires. Thus, the great empire fell. It began with Xander, and through his madness ends with Xander. Millennia later, when Talamuth fell, a great crystal tower emerged from the ground that still contains massive amounts of energy. Could it be that the Allagan Emperor survived all of those years trapped underground? Until next time, my fellow viewers.